feel completely outnumbered and powerless? Well, that could be a good thing. Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. This week, we're in 1 Samuel chapter 13. I've titled this chapter, Partial Obedience is Still Complete Disobedience. Chapter 13 is about 2 years after Saul's initial inauguration. Saul has 2,000 men presently under his command. Jonathan, who is his son, has 1,000 men under his command. They have split up and they're trying to move out all these little garrisons of Philistine soldiers that have encamped around Israel, put there to intimidate them. So Jonathan has just defeated one garrison, which stirs up the Philistines. Listen to what happens next in verses 5 through 7. And the Philistines mustered to fight with Israel 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen and troops like the sand on the seashore in multitude. They came up and encamped in Michmash on the east of Beth-aven. And when the men of Israel saw that they were in trouble, for the people were hard pressed, the people hid themselves in caves, in holes, and in rocks, and in tombs, and in cisterns. And some Hebrews crossed the fords of the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. Saul was still in Gilgal, and all the people followed him, trembling. So the Israelites are overwhelmed here because they've stirred up a hornet's nest and realized that they are outnumbered and overpowered. Saul and Jonathan's current combined force was a mere 3,000 soldiers against a whopping 36,000 Philistine troops who had a lot of advanced weaponry. We'll see that in later verses. It's probably how the modern state of Israel feels today, given the fact that the entire landmass surrounding them is against them in some way. But there have been plenty of times in my life when I have felt surrounded like this. I mean, outflanked, overwhelmed, outnumbered, even overpowered. And when this happens, my human rationale battles with my spiritual rationale. Sometimes my impulse is just like the Israelites here: ignore, deflect, run, hide, wherever I can. But there is one principle I have learned that has better equipped me for these moments. I've learned that in situations like this, God will reduce me and my situation to complete helplessness so that I'll stop relying upon myself and I'll rely on his salvation. The problem I always have is that I tend to lean too much on my skill, effort, and tactics until I realize that they're actually not going to work and might even make matters more complicated. If in a present situation you feel just like I have, or like the Israelites do here, and you have tried everything within your power to do what is right and righteous, then at this point, you might just need to stop. Not stop being righteous, just stop doing anything. Don't run, don't hide, don't live in fear. Instead, stop in your helplessness and trust in the Lord, who is your help and salvation. Because if you don't let the Lord help where you cannot help, you might end up doing what Saul does next. In the next verses, you might end up making a very tragic and a fatal mistake and getting in the way of the help of the Lord. I love you guys. I pray this bless you. If it has, share it with someone else. And I'll see you right back here again.